I like how, and I only just noticed this, I like how at the top of the screen it says patch note, but near the open portion of it, it says patch notes. I don't know. People who have OCPD will probably notice that immediately. Also, my bitrate is garbage right now, apparently. I'm guessing that there's a lot of people using the internet right now. Always seems to do that whenever I start streaming at about this time. Whenever I do a stream in the morning, it normally doesn't happen. Because there's barely anyone actually using their internet. Because everyone stays up super late here and then sleeps from like 2 a.m. in the morning until like 9 a.m. Except for the few people who are actually responsible. Like the school teacher that I live next to. Even though even though obviously it's midsummer. So. Wait, what the What the flying milkweed? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Gotta go baby mode. I had been playing mostly Darkest Dungeon and Monster Hunter. But I didn't really play much Monster Hunter. I actually sat in the hub for a good portion of it, mostly just because I was trying to see if the like thing where I get signed out of PSN would happen. But like I said, I think that was actually due to this game more than anything else. I might also need to rebuild the database on this, or not on this computer, on this PS4. I rebuilt the database on the PS4 before I swapped all the memory over to this thing. So it got like a fresh reset already back like 6 or 7 months ago. But on that PS4, I did it regularly. On this thing, I haven't done it at all. Mostly because I get so paranoid of losing data halfway through it. Because the power goes out or it's in the middle of a storm or something. It's an irrational fear. There is literally no rational logic behind it. It's just a fear I've always had. Dang, you must gotta have a good bucket seat in this frickin' car. Those G's would be equivalent to an F1 car. You wouldn't be able to hold your body in place. You'd be getting pulled out of your seat. Why did I do that? Oh, that was bad. I gotta get better at that thing. Well, whatever that. I can't tell if he was pushing me or if the car was pushing itself. It just pulls away from me. Regardless of if I take a racing line or not. It's almost making me want to get the Corvette because it's so much better. This thing just oversteers and understeers and oversteers and understeers. There's no in between for it. It's got horrible downforce application across the entire car. Like, it feels like it has too much rear downforce, but at the same exact time, it feels like it doesn't have enough. I can't keep up with that stupid fucking vet in this Ferrari. More like dog shitty. How was that the best time I ran if the AI still beat me? When I have that race beaten? Like, my head's like Stewie Griffining right now. Like, what fucking bullshit AI did it put me up against? This thing just has no balls. No balls, the car. Its 0 to 60 actually seems worse than some of the street cars. Oh, it's definitely worse. That's not even a question. It's definitely worse than some of the street cars. A lot of the time the performance card is a lie. Because it doesn't factor in other elements that lead to your car not driving as good. Like, I don't know, how about the touring track pavement being more sticky than like 90% of the other drivable terrain in the game?
You've got the edge. Now keep it sharp.
At least now it doesn't fucking understeer. The stock suspension setup for this thing, even with just a small difference, it made it so the car isn't sliding out of a turn every time. Oh, that was a little bit bad. Why do they make the default tuning for some of these cars so bad? It baffles me. It's like they want to force people to use pro settings, but just about every single person I've talked to who plays this game doesn't touch the pro settings. And it's like some of the cars in this game are almost undrivable in their stock setup. They understeer rampantly under even the tiniest amount of throttle, and then they oversteer massively when you let off the gas. And all it takes is a couple notches on some of the sliders to fix the problem with the car. And the other thing the game doesn't tell you also when you're tuning your car, or just upgrading it, is that an upgrade also has an effect on the pro settings. And if someone hasn't already data mined the percentages for each level of upgrade, I'd be curious to actually know. Because it's definitely a thing. I know for a fact that when you buy or get new shocks, I should say, when you get new suspension for your car, you put on an upgrade, it artificially gives the car tighter springs. It doesn't tell you that it's doing that, but it does. Because the slider is only representative of the mean of it all. Like, from 0 to 100%, that's only what the slider is. It's not saying how much the 100% is being adjusted by, if you know what I mean. Like 100% of what? 1,000? Or 100% of 100? Because the different numbers matter. Like, it's a longer 100%, if that makes any sense. And it actually, in some cars, putting on suspension upgrades actually makes you not be able to loosen up the suspension to the stock suspension level. Because it doesn't change the slider, but it gives you less options it doesn't add more notches to the sliders. You would notice that because it would have like 30 notches by the time you had your car upgraded. And I can show this on stream if people want to see the actual, like, physical evidence of it, because there are cars in this game which have glitches based on that. So if you tighten up the spring with a stock suspension and then put an upgrade on, it will make the suspension go on the ground with certain cars, and they won't stop doing that until you loosen up the suspension manually, even though the upgrade was the thing that caused the vehicle to do it. Not to mention, the same car that has that problem is also one of the only cars in the game you can't put a livery on. Besides, like, a couple or one of the dirt bikes or whatever that isn't customizable. Look at the difference in handling. When I was doing that same exact thing I just tried to do there before, my car would constantly go into the wall. You just let off the gas and turn like I'm doing. That's all I do. In that section right there is I just let off, turn, gas. Let off, turn, gas. Because that's as easy as it should be in a car like this with as much downforce as it has. It shouldn't be all slippery. Also, how the freak is this a touring car? In what way? The only thing I see is a hypercar in disguise. It's like, trust me guys, I'm totally a touring car. Little did they know I'm actually worse.
Drive smart and you'll win this.
Hey, asshole.
You found the line. Now hold it.
If you wondered why I drove like a crazy bastard there, I was actually trying to sandbag the vet. Another thing they need to add that would give you more control over your car's customization, which is baffling to me that it's not in here, is control over your fucking differentials. I'll give you a tip, Ubisoft. An Indy car does not have the same differential ratio as a fucking touring car. Neither does a street car. You have to change the amount of torque acceleration is applied while turning in a lot of cars like that. Because when you make the car wider and flatter on the ground, it prevents the tires from turning at high speeds. So in order to do that, you have to compensate with the differential, allowing the tire to rotate at a different speed than the other tire. Or vice versa, which is what they do in Indy cars. They have a more stiff differential. It still allows power to be split, but because they have the downforce and the big sticky tires to make use of it, they can have that. It's also one of the reasons why they can accelerate so hard out of corners. But you have to wait until you're just barely out of the corner to apply any acceleration, or else the vehicle will understeer or lurch on the ground, where the wheel is like scrubbing instead of actually spinning, and that slows you down. It's a fine balance, and with all cars it's different what that balance is because of the way the car sits on the axle. And then some cars don't even have a differential. In real life, if you were to have the Proto Hup 1, that thing doesn't have a differential. That's a solid axle. The way that those things are always built are with giant solid axles. That's why they drive like dog shit, because they drive like a tractor. Which means that neither of the wheels can spin independent of one another, if you were wondering why that's bad for a race car. It's good for an off-road vehicle. It's terrible for a race car. I still want to know how I beat the race before while doing a worse time, and I still was leading that race by like a fuckload. Same difficulty and everything. Did they change touring car AI? Chaebang. I just realized that I named that video Chaebang. Because bang, bang. Bang, bang. Do, do, do. Fire, fry. Bang, bang.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, fuck.
You've got this in the bag.
Sorry. He's so bad, dude. Yet somehow still in the lead. Oh, that was way too slow. I didn't expect it to slow down that much from sandbagging the brakes. Lesson learned. He shifted so late on that gear. Did you see his hand? It was like a full second and a half after the shifting sound effect went on. The hand is so delayed, it fucks with my brain. Now I know why they had the cockpit animation be able to be turned off. Because it's bad. It's like they knew it was bad. But we're too fucking lazy to fix it. His hand clicks the gear every time a second after. How did I never notice that before? Like you hear the and then his hand moves. Hey, Ricky. Sorry for the awkward streams the past couple times. Normally, I try to avoid having people on my stream for that reason. You live and you learn. It's not even that I hate any of those kids either. It's just like they get... It gets on my nerves having to teach every kid how to drive when I, like, could tell a person how to drive a car better in real life when I was 9 years old. Because if you wanted to be good at Gran Turismo, you either had to drive good or not play the game. At least the early games were like that. Like, oh, you brake and let off, and then turn, and then accelerate. You don't do it all three buttons at the same time. Well, I mean, deaccelerating isn't a button, but you know what I mean. You can't deaccelerate and accelerate at the same time. And whenever someone says, oh, I don't use the brake button, my brain immediately, like, I don't show it because I try to be polite, but my brain goes like, doing. It like hits like one of those anime things where like the person hears the text, and even though the person for whatever reason doesn't react to the dumb face they make, they're just like, dong. Like, what? That's me in that situation where I'm just like, no wonder racing games became unpopular. Gamers are too fucking stupid for racing games. Even the developers who make them are too stupid for them. How hard is it to pay one of your fucking teams to go out and experience these actual racing types so they can properly represent them? Like, I don't know, maybe the fact that, like, power boats in real life or jet sprints in real life, you're not really made to go through, like, finite courses. Nor do they have like 3,000 horsepower and only go like 100. Because that doesn't make any fucking logical sense whatsoever. An outboard motor has like 50 horsepower on it. It's just like, I can understand they just want to make stuff, but why are you gonna have logical cars in one area and then completely illogical bullshit in another area? It's like, oh yeah, instead of making like an actual monster truck thing to do, where you like crush cars and shit, because we're too lazy with physics because we're Ubisoft and we use middleware for everything, we're just gonna make it so the monster truck does nonsensical flips and spins in the air, even though every other car in the game can't do that. Why? Why we decided to not let every other car in the game flip and spin? Because we didn't want to make a fun game. We just wanted to make a game. It's not like there were any jumps for me to flip and spin on this track anyways. So why prevent me from flipping and spinning in the off chance that I actually do go into the air? It's just a physics model applied to the car. Well, it's like, even in a game sense, I'm down for either or. I hate the fact that Ubisoft has somehow managed to split the hair perfectly. It's neither, like, arcadey and fun, but it's neither realistic. You just have a bunch of bullshit that, like, accumulates into this game that feels like, oh, we're gonna take it serious, but only on these blue stuffs. And then on these other colored stuffs, it's gonna be completely, like, just stupid. And it's not even that I don't like the monster truck things. I think that that's fine. Monster truck freestyling is a thing. However, in freestyle, you're also graded on the shit that you crush and how you crush it. You don't crush anything in this game because there's no physics. Because if they had physics, the game would crash like crazy because it's Ubisoft. Any Ubisoft game that has had physics in it, Assassin's Creed Unity, is shit. And I'm not saying the actual game is shit, I'm saying it ran like shit on launch. That game actually, it was an Assassin's Creed game. Even though it was still a pretty bad one. To be a follow-up to things like Black Flag, which was a great game. Ubisoft just went like, woof, down the slope of turd nuggets. They slipped. One developer slipped and fell down the slope, and then they all dived after him, and now they're all at the bottom trying to climb up this slimy, slippery-ass wall of turds. That is their company. And they just can't claw themselves out of it. They keep making the same dumb mistakes in games. Fucking PlayStation 2 had monster truck games with physics where you crush cars and other things in it. Were the physics good? Not really. But was it crushing stuff with a monster truck like you should? Yeah. In fact, some of them, I remember a Monster Jam game, it had like racing pickups and stuff like that. Had like weapons. I think that game was literally just called like Monster Jam for like PlayStation 1 or 2. But they had a bunch of other Monster Jam games as well, or Monster Jam inspired games. And then of course you had stuff like Flat Out. Flat Out was literally a physics-based game back then. The closest thing to a physics-based game that you got. Flat Out 1 and Flat Out 2 both had amazing crash physics in them. And the terrain crashed and broke as you drove through it like crazy. I always go back and watch video of that game, just because I'm like, what the fuck happened to racing games since this? You look at Flat Out 2 for PC, made literally over 10 years ago, and it looks almost better than some of the racing games you get outside of the textures. In the way that the game runs, looks, plays, it feels like a better game. Because it was designed by people who wanted to make a fun game, and actually wanted to make a cool physics engine. Granted, the Flat Out series got sold off to another company and Bugbear no longer had the rights to it, so Flat Out 3 and the one for the handheld sucked absolute shit. But they made the other game now called Wreckfest, which was known as Next Car Game for the longest time. And Wreckfest has that in it, and it's actually a game that I'm considering pre-ordering. Just because I support Bugbear. Out of all the companies that I support, that company has been a company I support, because they try. It's not like a normal developer where they don't try. They don't try to do stuff like just not. They don't play the safe games, and that's why their company has been in that like not volatile but like inconsistent game putting out state that it's always been in. Because they're willing to take a loss if it means them creating a game that they actually approve of from their own company. And, for example, things that I like about Wreckfest, because I do know a good portion about the game, being that I followed it since the GoFundMe that it had. and that's destructible walls. No other racing game, especially Forza's. Forza is the worst when it comes to it, next to Drive Club and this game when it comes to a lack of physics and response from your environment. And racing is half of that. Granted, when you're going around a track in an F1 car, it doesn't really matter that much. But in other types of things, it matters. Rally racing, in real life, there are fucking people that are standing out in the middle of the road trying to get a picture of the car coming around the corner. And they dive back over the barricades when the car comes. I'm sorry to always turn it into a rant about shit, but it's just, you can't win. There's always going to be bullshit from Ubisoft and other developers. You just can't win with them because they don't do enough of their own original programming. It's like I always exclaim, and I find myself just sounding like a broken record most of the time, but they don't do half of their own programming. It comes from software that they stick onto their game engine and then act like they're doing shit. It's like how all developers nowadays use SpeedTree and expect me to respect their environment. It's like, you didn't even program your own environment, bitch. You want me to respect it? Put some fucking effort into your game for once. Then I'll respect it. Bugbear is a company I give a lot of respect to. And even when I play the games and would lose, you wouldn't find me shit-talking that company. I'll shit-talk Ubisoft, Capcom, all those developers all day long. Because they put out utter garbage and then refuse to fucking help people with the problems they have in their games. Because they have support teams who have no contact with the developers at hand. So half of the time something needs to get fixed, it takes fucking weeks of communication for it to even get back to the developers. You want to know the most recent patch for this game? The patch that came out July 25th was to fix post-launch problems. Hold on, I'll show you what it even says on the card when I go back to the screen. That's nearly a month after the game was released. A month. Even Capcom had patched Monster Hunter in the first week. It's pathetic. Also, why car are you understeered? I think the suspension, again, like I said earlier, I put better suspension on this car, look what happened. The car handles differently than it used to. Now it's understeering because the suspension's too stiff due to the fact the upgrade artificially stiffened the springs. So now I have to go into the pro settings and unstiffen it to get the car to handle the way it used to. Fucking retarded. You can even see it understeering more now. Compared to the last time I drove this Alpha Grand Prix, I put the one upgrade that I got for it on it. That was better. This is specifically me talking about the last time that I played. I put this on it last time I played, because it had one of these weaker on. But I never used the actual car. And see, now I have to come here. And even though the stock values are like that, I have to unstiffen the car because it's too stiff. Oh my god, that's right. You assholes are driving that way on this track. So I can't... Hello, Stephen Hinton. You don't need to spam. I don't look at the chat every 5 seconds, dude. Sorry I didn't respond immediately. Trying to think. Yeah, look at that. That's so dumb. Why would you ever have your game programmed like that as a racing game? Oh my god. And then I fucking flub up that turn. Wow, amazing. I can put the throttle down in the corner now. And the car doesn't just go in a straight fucking line. $140 out of that turn down there versus 120 before with the tuning that it gave me. Yeah, it's not even comparable. I hate Ubisoft. I really do. I have a passionate hate for their fucking utter lack of programming. It is so disappointing. More than the actual game, just their lack of programming. When they want to act like AAA developers. This is why you need actual numbers and not just a bunch of fluffy sliders that are made for like 10-year-olds to learn how to play a game. You know, when I saw pro settings, I imagined I'd be adjusting pound per square inch type of stuff. Not fucking, oh, this bar that you can't tell what it's doing is doing something. Press it down and up a bunch of times until it does good. We think you're a retard. Or like how they have American fucking vehicles that have their speedometer set to kilometers per hour by default. Not miles per hour, kilometers per hour. Which some American vehicles don't even have an offer on inside because they don't have digital displays. They have normal fucking tach and speedometers. And then the actual fluffy garbage that goes into it is on the touchpad screen in the center console. Like in a fucking Mustang. It's fucking infuriating to people like me. This is the only car that should have kilometers per hour by default on the dashboard in America. Because they're not American. Make me bad. Sorry, I'm putting on my shoes real quick. smashed one of my toes into one of my containers I have outside with plants in it. Because I forgot to put my shoes on. And I was walking by, and I have these sticks that are in the bottom of the container, supporting the container up from the actual little bottom pan that it has. And I walked by it and just smashed my toe into it like a toothpick. No, it's fine, dude. I understand why you wanted to get a response. Wait, is the giant... Wait. The San Bernardino Mountains are that tiny in this? Really? The mountain up here is bigger. And there isn't even a mountain fucking here in real life. What? This is like Colorado up here, even though it's not. Isn't like Mount Rushmore around here somewhere? I know in real life Mount Rushmore would be around here. I don't know where the fuck they put it in their bullshit idea of America. I thought it was on the St. Julian Peak. Because I know they show it in the opening cutscene, but I've never actually seen it in game. It should be on the south-facing side of one of these mountains. Because that's what it is in real life for optimal sun exposure. I have no clue where that is. This map does not... Oh, wait. The Great Basin. Where? Where could it be? Oh my god, I wish you could actually, like, move a significant speed around the map with the touchpad. I have the sensitivity on max, and that's as fast as it will move. What are you saying oi for? What oi? Where? Where is it? That's an interesting place. Where the fuck did they put Mount Rushmore? Oh, is that it? Did I just spot it? Oh, no. Never mind. It's in these mountains in real life. Because of the white stone. It's not on the north. Did they put it on the north-facing side of a mountain in this game? If so, they are officially retarded. They are 100% retarded. Are you just gonna spam hellos, or are you gonna say something useful, dude? I was hoping it would somehow land. Oh, this is Clarence's house. Yeah, that's Clarence's house. What a pompous asshole. Oh, hey, it's a dude. Wait, what car is this? Why is it... I wonder why this is my favorite ground vehicle. What? Is there really a live reward up on this fucking mountain? Oh, there it is. Actually, what do I want to use to open this? Styling. Do you want to go tobogganing in my jet sprint? Right. I should have set the off-road car as my favorite car. That would have been the smart thing to do. Just driving for the fun of it. This road is actually pretty fun to drive on. If only they had races that you could do on them. Like, why don't they let you drive the hypercar along these roads? Probably not enough straights. Like, look at that on the map. It looks like a racetrack. What is the guy saying in this song? Cry me a river of Thames? I do find it funny though, out of all the stations, the rock station is the only station that doesn't have a song on it that gets your fucking video blocked worldwide. All the other stations have at least one song on them that gets your video blocked worldwide, so it doesn't matter even if all the other songs didn't do it, one does, and it fucks over the entire thing. I'm sure all the other artists that are put on that radio station would love to know that anytime a guy decides to listen to their music in this game on a YouTube video, which is basically free advertisement, their video gets blocked worldwide, so the one artist that's being an asshole affects everyone else. It's such a great business model. The fact YouTube even allows a company to completely outright close down a video when other companies have copyright claimed it and are monetizing it is fucking ridiculous. Companies like that need to be shut down just for not having any ethical morals. It's like, I'm just gonna be a fuckwad because I can. I'm just gonna fuck people over. We don't care if you don't like it or not. Because there's nothing you can actually do. And that's when an anon gets pissed off and something actually happens that that person couldn't think. I'm just saying that's what happened with PlayStation Network and a bunch of other things, where they got attacked for denying a person a specific thing or treated them badly or used a specific old thing that they didn't like, and it was just like, sometimes you have to teach corporate people a lesson. And there isn't many ways to do it now, because you can't threaten people. If you threaten a company, you're liable to being sued. Hell, even if I don't write off half of my videos as being satirical humor, all the shit I say about developers could be used to sue me and consider me, like, defacing their product or whatever. And they could easily ask me to shut my shit down because of how vulgar I am and the stuff that I say. Because stuff even written off as satire can still be scrutinized for bullshit like that. And it's absolutely retarded. The fact that someone like me can get sued by a fucking asshole company because I said something bad about said asshole company, and that company and the world has this illusion that I'm the bad person because I said a bunch of fucking people at the company were retards, I'm the bad guy. Not the company that's fucking everyone over with a shitty subpar product that gets to be a company still and fuck people over and refuse to give them support. No, that's fine. It's only bad when you decide to express your freedom of speech, which isn't so free anymore. Your freedom of speech gets you demonetized, sued, and or completely shut down. Such a great fucking world we live in right now. It really is. And people wonder why people like Captain Sparkles, for example, on YouTube. He's always been a person that, I mean, I hate to say it because a lot of people would probably be like, you watch Captain Sparkles or whatever? It's like, yeah. But I do it because he does it as a YouTube thing. I don't have to worry about going to his channel, seeing a video that has some political, religious, dumb bullshit in it. Because he avoids it. He does the actual smart thing. Because if you don't, you're liable to being fucked over by not even just the companies. People also will hunt you down for stuff you say. Look at the poor state that JonTron is in. I fucking love JonTron. I don't give a fuck what he has said on the internet, regardless of if some dude thought it was racist or not. His content is great. He's a YouTuber, not a political official. You don't need to take anything he says seriously. They are his opinions. Like, I don't know. The fucking state of the internet and YouTube right now is the whole reason why a lot of great content creators like that have disappeared. And then you have content creators that are dying off left and right and or are committing suicide. R.I.P. Total Biscuit. I looked up to him for a long time. Back when I played World of Warcraft, because that's what his initial content was about. Hell, his logo was the troll that he played for the longest time. I feel so bad for the people that he was associated with. Like, that must still be really hard for them to deal with. People like Wow Crendor and Jesse Cox and them. I don't really watch them much anymore, but I always keep up with YouTube stuff because YouTube's been going in this really, really bad direction for the past couple years. And I really don't want to say anything about the CEO of YouTube. I think everyone avoids saying anything about that just because you absolutely risk everything in that situation. But she is honestly part of the reason why it's become so fucky. You bend over backwards to please people who are parts of giant companies that you shouldn't be trying to please because you're already part of one of the biggest companies that runs the fucking internet in the first place. Google doesn't have to try to get ads. Google will get ads. They're the most revenue generating thing on a fucking internet site. Like, you're not... I mean, of course, there's Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, but YouTube currently... Or, I should say YouTube was, because now with the whole demonetization bullshit, it's actually losing money. YouTube is losing money because of their own systems that they've put into place. And because it's so hard to reinstate videos that have been demonetized. And then if you try to do it twice and it gets reinstated, then it's like you might as well not even bother because you might get a strike on your channel. And if you didn't know, a strike on your YouTube channel means you can't live stream on it. I only found that out because of Cowchop. Because they got a copyright strike due to one of their videos violating the code of conduct or whatever, and they got a strike and it made it so they couldn't stream for 6 months. And the thing is, YouTube knows that a lot of the YouTube content creators are talking about it being bad. Again, people like Captain Sparkles go to the Creators Summit, and he has talked about multiple times how, like, it's always friendly at first, but then when people, like, try to break into details, that's when everyone starts getting, like, super socially awkward and, like, things like that, because no one really wants to talk about what the real, like, the real problem with things are. And you can't get that information from almost anyone over there because they don't want to tell you. They don't want people in the public, like, knowing that specific things at Google aren't going well or going right or whatever. Again, I don't know. I don't work there, and neither am I even remotely close to even being in the eyes of any one of those people. So I've just always found it funny because you can't avoid it now. People started even uploading shit on Twitch because Twitch gave more consistent stuff, even though I hate using a Twitch player. I hate it so much. It's so laggy and glitchy, and you have to constantly refresh it every once in a while, or else it begins to use up a bunch of fucking memory, and it's just trash. And then there's the live chat replay, which you can disable, but it doesn't actually, like, get rid of it completely, so it's still, like, fucking waste memory over time. It's trash. Why can't anything work like it used to? You want a good idea of what cool websites used to exist and how they used to exist and the functionality that they had? Go to the old archaic Rockstar website for Smuggler's Run. Just type in Smuggler's Run 2 into Google, press enter, and one of the first things that will come up will be Rockstar's webpage from like 2002, I think it was, 2003. For Smuggler's Run to Hostile Territory. The website, last time I checked, was still up, and it's still fully interactive the way it used to be, where the screen, like, loads in and it splits open like a mechanical door, and then all of the things on the screen have, like, the same sound effect as the stuff in the game, and shit like that. And that's, like, made on old browser shit. That's not even something that's even remotely close to being new. And it looks and feels better, even though it's on an old web page, so of course it's scaled for like old CRT monitors. It's not made to be viewed on like a widescreen, so it'll be letterboxed. But it's still like, when I was a kid and I loaded to that webpage for the first time on my shitty internet, I was amazed by that website. I was like, that is the future of how shit will work. Stuff just works, you click on things, you get, like, in... Granted, the site is very simple in its coding, comparative to Twitch. But, in all honesty, if things become more complicated but work worse, is it worth it? And that's how I feel with, like, the Twitch thing, where it's like, it's technically better, but it's also worse because of the same reasons that make it better than other players. And again, sorry, I'm just sitting here, like, ranting with the map screen open. I should have, like, actually just kept myself in car mode, so could have at least had music. It's one of those things that'll never not irk me about modern video games. It just doesn't matter what game I play. I want better fucking everything. Websites should be better. Games should be better. Everything should be better, but it's fucking culminated this lazy type of fucking design that's just terrible. Again, I always tell people to go and look up that old Smuggler's Run website because it's old and it's still cool. Which, on a website, is very rare, because that website looks and functions like some of those new age video game websites where it would, like, have the video game's theme music and a bunch of other shit play while it was... That website did it fucking back in 2002, and they did it promoting a game knowing that less than 50,000 people would ever click on that fucking webpage. Like, it just makes me want to fucking start throwing shit through developers' windows. Like, you can't seriously sit there and call yourself a programmer or a developer when you put out worse quality shit than stuff that existed 10 to 15 years ago, made by a team of 2 to 3 people. Specifically talking about the website, because the website didn't take nearly as much development as the actual game Smuggler's Run Hostile Territory, which was a Rockstar game before Rockstar became GTA-focused style games, for the most part. That was Rockstar North, an old subsidiary, like EA Big, back when EA used to make good games. EA Big, challenge everything. Or I should have said, EA Big, challenge everything. For like NFL Street, SSX Tricky, SSX 3, all of those games. Remember THQ? How about Obsidian Entertainment? Sorry, I was just in a ranty mood. I get that way every once in a while about games. I say every once in a while. More like twice a week. At least. Oh. Oh, you. Portion their oversteer. That's something unfixable. You can never fix the death-dealing oversteer of a Porsche. I learned how to drive from Jeremy Clarkson. Meaning bad. No, in actuality, he probably drives a fuckload better than me. Probably not in a video game, but definitely in real life. But then again, I might be surprised. He might pick up the controller and like fucking ace me, and I'd just be like, here's $1,000, and I just walk out of the room. Jans. Here, let's do the race that took me forever to beat, but now I can't seem to lose it. You watch, I'm gonna lose it like 30 miles this time. Just because I said that. Oh wait, this is not on hard. Don't start it. Don't start it. No! No! No. 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 Pillsbury Doughboy over here can't even click a button right. Hello. I have magnet brakes. When I press the brake button, it just pulls all of the metal out of the molten core of the earth to stop me. Or the turn that kills me every time. Don't put me in a Porsche in real life. Definitely dead. 100%. dead boy. Living dead boy. That's in one car. Oh my god. Oh. How did that not wreck the car? Honestly. I've hit signs going slower and wrecked, but I hit a bus going fucking 120 and don't wreck. My car is good at turning. You can clearly see how good Porsches are at turning. I just love the idea of driving over any terrain, and I've had it happen to me in real life, but it's just like in a video game, especially. Your character's holding the steering wheel fully turned in a direction, and the car is just going in a perfectly straight line, as if you're not even turning it. The only time that happens in real life is on like super muddy terrain, or if you're hydroplaning in a car at like 100 miles an hour. Even in grass, a car will still get more grip than that. You can see it in car accidents when people slide on grass. You can see how the car like will slide and turn as it's sliding. Versus like someone who crashes because of mud, it's just a fucking straight line into the object they hit. Because the car can't turn, period. The treads have no gap in them because they're all caked with mud. Grass is different though. That is why lawnmowers and tractors and other things have those bulbous tires. Because that helps you travel over grass better than a stiff, hard tire. Depends on the tractor, of course, but I'm talking about like those old school tractors that you see everywhere with the two little wheels in the front and then the two big fat wheels in the back. Or they'll have tall skinny wheels. It really depends on where they were farming. Some run the skinny wheels because it's better for keeping the... I forgot about that stupid jump. It's better for keeping the axles of the tractor off the ground when they use tall, skinny tires. And allows them to dig down into the clay better. Normally used in more clayey type of dirt. Because they just act like knives and cut down to the hardest part. That's why you see those kind of tires also on skidders and doodle buggies, which are real things. I'm not making the name of those up. Doodle buggy is a real term for a type of logging vehicle, and a skidder is normally a four-wheeled vehicle that turns at the center and has a plow and then a crane on it. Plow in the front, crane in the back. Again, type of logging vehicle. Or construction. Sometimes a skidder is used in construction as well. A skidder I should say. I always make it sound like a T word when I'm pretty sure it's a D word. Not skitter like skittering, like skitter, or like you're skidding in a car. It's hard for my tongue to differentiate the T and D in that word for whatever reason. If you're wondering how I even know about all that stuff, my dad used to be a lumber, I guess you'd say, lumberjack. But they didn't lumberjack anything. They used all heavy machinery. Oh shit. Oh. Oh, you can come out at the end there. That's right. Fuck, I forgot about that turn. That turn where your car doesn't turn. The car just floats. Am I driving a boat or a Porsche? Or both? Man, this track has a lot of hard turns on it. I don't know how I beat this one before I beat the other one. I know, it has a hard time with D's, and my name starts with D. It's not like I accidentally mispronounced my name as Dustin. It's not even a name, dude. Not even a name. Why am I so fucking nasally today? Too much humidity. It's just all nasal. But I can't get it out. I need to do like a DSP snort and just like suck it all down.
3, 2.
Sorry, that's pretty nasty. I'm honestly not much better than DSP. I'm just smarter. I think that's the only difference, really. Like, I rage just as much, and I also blame the game constantly, even when it's my own fault. Oh my fucking... I can blame the game there, though. That ain't my fucking fault. Horse shit. My car just landed and the rear shocks just were like, see ya. Imagine if I was doing world record time and that happened. As if I was good enough. Hey, did you know that I held like a world record for like 24 hours after the game like came out just barely? I'm so cool. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment about how shitty I am. See you next time, nerds. I'm sorry. I had to commit to it once I started it. What the hell? I keep landing on the back side of the jump because I'm not making it all the way across. Because this car loses speed on jumps for whatever reason. It's not heavy enough. It's not even heavy enough to be a paperweight. That and the stupid dots on the dashboard I always think are AI on the map. Here, what? How have we out of... I want to brick a Ubisoft. Oh yeah, just 3 exhausts and no brakes, dude. How about like 5 suspensions? That sound good? You like? Do you like? Good. Cause you deal. Like, come the fuck on, man. What is this? Don't need. Don't need. Well, actually, I might be able to put those on something else. Good. Now we just have a bunch of spare fucking tires. And nothing else. Screw it. Goodbye. I want purples anyways. Purpellos. Zagato. Oh, forgot to change the difficulty. Wow, I slowed down way too much there. Trying to cheese the inside too much. That's what this car is good at.
You're in first. Now drive like it's the only place you've ever been.
I can see it when I'm on the other side of the tunnel, but the second I'm in the actual tunnel, I can't see the other side. And I'm fucking snow blindness. Did you know 1 in 10 cat humans get snow blindness every year? Because they play the crew too and try to go through a tunnel. That's not a real homeless person. Are you serious, dude? You're just gonna leave that there? Even the lady's like, what the fuck, man? Squish! Bonus points. Bonus. Excuse me, bud. You and your high, extremely high suspension are my best friend. Excuse me, bud. Cheater coming through. That's what you get for not putting physics in your racing game. Oh, he is a god of control. When the game actually requires me to counter steer, I'm on top of it. Because I already would be doing it more if the game actually had real physics. I live in an area with snow and ice on the roads for like 4 to 5 months out of a year. You gotta learn how to be a god or you're gonna crash a car easily. And again, it's mostly just the fact I've been riding four-wheelers since I was young. You just learn how to feel for traction a lot better that way. Feel for traction, weight, stuff like that. Even though a game doesn't give you a good feel for it, it's still just like a muscle memory thing when you see a car start to slide like that to turn the other direction. But in some cases, you actually do need to turn with the slide, but that depends on if you've lost traction with your rear or your front. Losing traction with your front tires means you need to steer in the direction of the skid. So if you're skidding right because you've lost traction with your front tires, you need to steer right. And that will allow your car to just slide sideways instead of spinning around. Because if you turn to counter steer in that situation, your car's gonna spin because the front tires are gonna like start losing momentum faster than the rear ones, which have the torque of the transmission still being applied to them, even if you've let off the gas at that point. That's the thing that I'm talking about with how drift cars, you let off the gas a little bit to gain traction because of the... I will drive myself mad thinking of Ubisoft's definition of how you drift. They would crash into a wall every time in real life. Because they'd think, oh, to make the car slide farther, I let off the gas, and then the car would get grip and just go straight into the inside wall. Because as soon as those hot wheels stop spinning, they're sticky as fuck. Just like a drag tire. As soon as that tire starts to cool, you stick and you go flying forward. Even if it's a super hard tire. This is why when you watch drift videos, you'll notice that people let off in the middle of the apex of the turn to get the car grip, to get it going back around to the other side of the turn, and then they apply more throttle out of it to give you the impressive smoke as the car's pulling out of the drift. Go watch any Gymkhana thing with Ken Block, or watch any of the Red Bull Drift videos, and you'll see and hear it in every one of the cars. The throttles, the gear shifts, and everything, and how they use it. And you'll see how it's actually a lot more throttle and like gearing and brake intensive than most people would probably think. I'm pretty sure I have traction control turned up to max, but okay. I think it's because this thing has a bad ECU in it. It's so hard to do a Rockford in this game because of how the physics work. So, in real life, you do a Rockford, you go backwards, you dump the gas, e-brake, slide around, and you pull out because the front end slides all the way around. Not in this game, because the physics of how the tires grip don't allow the car to just swing around like that. As you saw, it just doesn't swing all the way. It swings about 75%, and then if you don't continue holding reverse, which you shouldn't have in real life, you wouldn't have to, you just let off, you'd go reverse, e-brake, turn, and you'd slide around. Hold on, I just wanted to pick this up real quick. Stop distracting me. Oh my god, cars spawning in my ass end. You shouldn't need to go 40 miles an hour in reverse to do a Rockford. That's preposterous. 40 miles an hour backwards. Throwing it into a slide. The amount of G's would throw your body around the car like a rag doll at that point. I'm sure if you've watched the Dukes of Hazzard, at least the more newer one, not the old Dukes of Hazzard, which is still the best, but the newer one, Bo does a 180 Rockford, and every single person in the car during that scene, of course it was filmed separately, but that's what it would really be like, is you just get fucking thrown around like you're just a weightless retard in a car like that when you throw it into a Rockford.
3, 2, 1.
Any rear-wheel drive car can Rockford. Shorter wheelbases are harder and require a little bit more finicky on the e-brake to do it. Longer wheelbases, that shit's like easy. The car will even overturn if you let it. Like you could almost do a full 360 from reverse by pulling the e-brake in some very long-nosed cars, like a Charger. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. One thing I am liking about this Zagato is it's really tiny. It doesn't seem tiny from the outside, but it's really tiny. It feels like it's only about the size of a Miata. Oh, fuck. I knew I took that one too inside. I keep doing it too because this car handles so well. You can cheese the inside so easily with this car. Oh my god, I did it again. Holy shit. I obliterated that guy's car. I didn't think this thing was muscular enough to do that. This thing doesn't really scream at me, big boy car. Sorry. Fucking... Suck a toad.
Drive like you never heard of a red light.
But I like roads. They're flat. Dicks. How many times am I gonna hit the van that's always parked in that same spot before I learn not to turn that far in? Whoa, where did that jump come from? Damn it! I want to drive along the inside so much. Like, I could just drive along the sidewalk. For a V12, it has no balls. I want some fucking groin in this car, dude. Some solid groinal development. Driving like a maniac. Breaking everything. Cool. Customization, but no purple parts. Like, are you joking me? I got more purple parts from normal races. Like, I want purple parts. Game no give. It no geef. I like how that one... That's what I mean. One little notch on a slider apparently changes the whole world for this game. Because it doesn't tell you what the fuck it's doing to the actual car. Did it actually make it handle better? I don't know. It said it increased the lateral G's. Okay. Seems logical. Oh, that's Luttrell's hypercar. Luttrell's nope. I don't want that.
I'll stop talking so you can start driving.
Out my way.
Pour a little more of that on, and I see the winner's circle in your future.
Dang it, I was trying to cheese the checkpoint, but it wasn't worth it. Three blue parts. We just got a letter, and it's 3 blue parts. Blues Clues. I've got the blues. Style. I'm just gonna burn out off the line because I'm cooler than everyone
Take
else.
the lead early. Never give it up. Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Why don't you make them appear further away?
Why don't you make them appear further away? On the trail. Mixed with Hank Hill. Why don't you make them appear further away?
A purple part. Purple part. Still no brakes though. Oh my goodness. Wow, it's like a completely different car. You can even see it in the fact that the car doesn't like roll every 2 seconds. At least they got the engine sound nice on this thing. Even though it sounds like it's being super blowered. Oh my god, that lateral G. I wasn't prepared. You were not prepared. Oh, you were not prepared. Wow, I'm drifting in a street car. And I was actually counter-steering to do the drift. Whoa! It's almost like when you're going that fast, the physics don't even know how to respond, so they become realistic as a byproduct. Seems to happen every single time you're gonna slide out of control. That's why I turned slide help off, because slide help does that automatically, but it does it in a really shitty manner. it wouldn't have held that drift like that, to say the least. Even though that cost me a little bit of speed, is cool as fuck, dude. The braking distance was also affected dramatically by it, even though it wasn't reflected on at the card. You can see it right there. It stopped faster than my touring car does. There you go, that was a 60-0 right there. Oh, is it? I haven't collected any of my rewards because the last time I tried to collect my rewards, it disconnected me from the game. I like how you get this once you're at 300. Did they add that? BMW M Performance M4 Racing. Ferrari La Ferrari. La Ferrari. Oh my god, look at how long that wheel is. When video games have gone too far. Alright, it's 9,000. I know it's in 9,999. Or 10,000. Whatever. Whoa. Game? Hello? Sorry. I'm gonna go out for another smoke real quick. Didn't even feel like an hour to me. Hey, Monster Hunter is gonna have a title update soon, and I am staying spoiler free. So when I load up the game on the 1st of August, it'll be complete blind everything to me. It won't be like Lunastra or anything like that, where I already knew what the new things were gonna be. 100% blind, no YouTube spoilers. And if someone dares to try and talk about anything in the new free title update, they are getting the boot, the steel toe boot, so far up their ass, they're gonna go from one side of YouTube to the Japanese side of YouTube, and they'll wonder how they got there. Fucking leaf hoppers. Sorry. I need some dang sun here, man. All of my plants are getting all stretchy. Looking at these freaking twigs that are just growing. They're not literally twigs, it's just their leaves. On bean plants, if bean plants don't get enough light, but they still get nitrogen. They just grow long stems without having big leaves. My bush beans look like ivy. That's how far they're spread out. In between the nodes. Because of the lack of sun. Is that someone's cat? I hear a cat meowing. It's like alley catting. Sorry, I'm sure that click noise is pretty loud. I do it just to get their attention. My neighbor has a black cat called Bear that acts similar to a cat that I used to have. And that is very chatty for a cat. He always makes like noises all the time whenever you're talking around him or talking at him. He always makes little like vocal responses. Which is weird for a cat. It's more normal for a dog, but not common for a cat to do that. He does like little grunts and purrs and these like weird like, chirp sort of things. Not like a normal cat meow. Boater, why'd you drop on me? Dude, why'd you gotta do that? I don't want a sticky web on my arm. He's like, plunge attack. Bonus damage. He failed his first Dark Souls fight. He's a super friendly cat, though. I just say it because there's only a few types of cats out there that are raised by people that actually are communicative and aware of the fact that if they make sounds, humans will respond to them, sort of thing. Because when he, like, comes up to you, before you'll even see him, because he'll like walk up to you from behind and he'll like make these little like rah, rah, rah noises and stuff like that that are so weird sounding, but he does it just to get your attention, and then once you have his attention, he like swaps over to the little like purring mixed with the little like chirps when you say stuff. It's so bizarre. He also drools when you pet him for a long period of time. Like around his head. One of the cats that I used to own at my house, called Nosy, I gave to a friend of mine who works at a veterinarian office. And this cat Nosy was, the reason why I called him Nosy is he was one of those short-haired cats that has the mutation where they get the really, really long, like, nose profile. And he was, like, really licky, and he always loved, like, licking people and would jump up into your lap and, like, hug you and, like, grab onto you. You could also wear him as a scarf. You could, like, put him around your neck and just walk around, and he would just lay limp around your neck. He got turned into a stress therapy cat, though. He goes to old folks' homes and other people of, like, various ailments and goes into their, like, quarters and just sits on the bed with them and just acts really nice and stuff like that. Well, I wouldn't say acts, he's just a really nice cat. One of those cats that will tuck itself under the blankets next to you like it's a human in bed. He plays fetch. And does a couple other things too that she taught him how to do. Sorry to talk about cats. I've always been interested in all kinds of animals, and it's like there are already so many people that talk about dogs. Dogs are great, but you get way more unique experiences with cats, I feel. Because cats have such diverse, independent personalities and stuff like that. Some cats are so lovable and attaching, whereas others are detached. Not necessarily feral, but they just don't care about human interaction. It doesn't try to actively go around other people other than its owner, sort of thing. Then you have cats like Nosy, who literally loves anyone. If you pet him, he is your best friend for that moment. And he'll sit with you and cuddle with you and lick you and do all that kind of stuff. Again, that's why they turned him into a stress therapy cat. Originally, they kept him at the vet's office for like a couple of months, and he would just sit in the waiting room and just entertain like people. Of course, they had to be careful about it. If they knew that someone was coming in with like a big dog, they'd keep him in the back room just to not have the dog bark and stuff. But when it was just going to be like other people who had like small animals or animals in cages, they'd let him be out while they were waiting for their animal to be tended to. Ooh. Hi, how's it going? I don't know why every single time I finish a race, sometimes I just keep driving on the track as if it's still going. I wanted to try this one again. What is he touching with his hand? Is that him shifting? Because it doesn't look like it. I expected to just keep flying like an airplane. Gotta love the view on this car. No blind spots. Except the rear view. Oh, that was bad though. That was just me turning way too late. Oh, that was such a bad place to do that. I need to really take some of the brake pressure off the front end. Needs to be 60 rear, 40 front. It's such a light car, I want to be able to take advantage of being able to turn while braking. He's like Spider-Manning the shifter. Can it give me brakes, please? Am I just allergic to brakes? I've done what, like 12 street races, 14 street races, got no single pair of brakes tonight. Delightful. I might as well just scrap it. It's never going to give me the purples in the categories I want. Abracashifta. Oh wait, there's something I wanted to adjust the pro settings on this thing. What the what? How come they don't use that jump in any races? Oh god. I was trying to do it, but as soon as I tapped the one on the left that was a little bit thicker, it sent me right. What the hell happened there? Those cars got into a wreck on their own. Okay, we're back on this road then. I would be scared of my actual life. I would be scared of my other lives. Going this fast. Yeah, there was no conceivable way to make it through that. Here, let's just try the race again. Yeah, if you can call it a car. It's more of a go-kart.
Come on, you can do it.
It's amazing how good this thing brakes, even though it still has stock brakes on it, because the game won't give me any. That should have been one of my fastest times on that track. Yep. 20 seconds behind world record. It is allergic to brakes. This game. What are those? Those things you use to slow down your car. And it's allergic to purples too. Only. It'd take forever to get purples for all cars because of the rate at which the game gives purples. Do the accident race? Why? That's not a race. That's a point to point. Oh wait, no, it's in Florida. Florida. I've done every single race in the game. Multiple times over, so it's not the race. It's just all RNG. Even if it gives me to it, it's just complete randomness that it gave it to me now. Go away, light pole. The first part of this race doesn't even matter.
Whoa. That... No time to wait for an ambulance. We gotta get into the hospital fast. This is what we do, you hear?
Oh,
Take care
shit.
of our own. Easy there.
Come on,
You don't wanna shake him up too
man.
much.
What?
to the
Your
hospital
car
too slowly.
RNG. Eat my ass. Car RNG.
Careful, careful.
Careful? Is that careful? I picked this car because you can't fucking knock it out with traffic. It just bounces off of everything because it's so heavy. Traffic busters.
You're almost there.
Oh, you
This is why we gotta go legit. So there's someone around ready to handle it if
stupid
things go
little
bad.
nugget me. Oh, come on with the cars, my dude. I could have just took that shortcut. I didn't even beat it. I figured I didn't. Too many cars in the exact place they needed to be to slow me down. Sure, let's try it again. See, I don't do this one because it's not... You can't tell if you're gonna beat it or not, just based off of driving halfway through it. Does the end like 4 to 5 turns literally make or break it? And the stupid pedestrian traffic just makes it even more retarded.
Trying to wait for an ambulance. You gotta get into the hospital fast. This is what we do, you hear? We take care of our own. Easy there. You don't want to shake him up too much.
But you don't want to get him to the hospital too slow either.
Careful, careful. We gotta go legit, so there's someone around ready to handle it if things go bad.
That car RNG. Compare that to the last race.
That's some fine driving for a good cause right there.
We've got an MVA victim here. Get a line on his ABCs.
It's just too much RNG for me. Yeah, of course. The RNG is just stupid with that mission. Of course it would give me one set of brakes for doing it. It's not like the entire rest of the game, up until the past like 10 races, I had been getting them normally. It just has to happen like that. That's just how fucking dumb, random ass RNG happens, doesn't it? If I had actually beat it the first time, I probably wouldn't have got brakes. It's only because I failed it the first time and had to retry it that I got the brakes. I guarantee you. Oh, wait, I wanted to... Oh, fuck. Actually, I want the... I've had this thing for a lot longer. It deserves to be max upgraded. Dan just invited me to a party. Alright, now I need to... Oh shit, I have to plug my laptop in. Alright.
Hello, Steve.
What's up, dude?
Not much. Just noticed your stream. When it's here. I recently got on and was going to YouTube to look at something and I saw you streaming, so I decided to.
Kinda hard to hear you, man.
Oh yeah, quiet, sorry. Yeah.
Well, could you turn your mic up a little bit then?
Is that better?
Yeah. Holy shit, was that lightning?
I don't know. I'm taking my my General Lee out. You're doing a race in LA. So it says you are, by the way. Yeah. No. No. Thank you. Coral Gables Street Race. And to Lotus.
There's no rain or anything outside. We're supposed to get a little bit of rain soon, but it didn't say anything about light. It didn't look like there was going to be any lightning with it.
Come on, Lotus. I've got a beast under my hood, thank you very much. And a nice boost out of that corner. Rodney. Wait. No one passes me. I missed a shortcut. A very good shortcut. Shortcut that means it. It's saying, oh, missing that shortcut put me in last. Damn it.
I love just wall bumping with this car. Because it doesn't get slowed down at all by it.
Funny. Come on, Lisa, get back here. This Lotus might have too much power. This is a very bendy track.
If it has too much power, that just means you're accelerating too early out of a turn.
Okay. And no, it's got like too much power going into a turn, so I've got no time to steer.
Yeah, that's... Then you're
Slam
not
on the
letting off and
brakes.
braking early. Gotta let off, brake, turn, and then apply throttle once you're in a turn. Only apply throttle once the car needs it. Otherwise, let it coast, because those cars coast really easily. Coasting is better than throttle if you want to turn. It's the same way with pretty much every vehicle.
Except for boats.
Yeah, but that's because of physics more than anything else.
Yeah. Okay. Go around this corner. Hit don't hit the pole. Oh damn it. Oh. Get lost, Calvin. Ah.
Why did I do that?
Calvin. Oh god. Pro 2 also needs to fix their AI. Is it going around corners?
There's a couple races where the AI would just drive straight into a wall.
Really?
There's one street race specifically where the AI just literally drives into the wall every single time around that corner, guaranteed.
Which one?
I can't remember which one. I'd have to race on it to know. It's the one where you drive through the tunnel and then there's the ramp in the tunnel, or you can go past the ramp and drive up out of the tunnel.
Oh, that one.
You gotta
Yeah,
drive
that
like you
track,
owe somebody money.
the part after the tunnel, there's like a turn right up into a checkpoint. They always hit the wall on the inside near that checkpoint. You can do that race and see it for yourself. It's really fucking hilarious. Because all
have done that
7
race.
of the AI will run into the wall in the same exact spot. Unless there's
Is that why it's so easy?
That's why there's always a way to pass them on that track, because the AI drives like shit. There's a couple other tracks where the AI drive like shit on.
I lost by a smidge, man. Like I came forward by a smidge. Like their tire was just ever so slightly in front of mine. And straight up, start in a second. I hate this big corner because I can never just go. And the AI just get there so fast. Wait. What never passes me? I don't think so. But there's a shortcut back there. Oh, that shortcut. I missed it, but I'm still in third, so I'm good.
Not all the shortcuts are good.
Oh, there's one back there that in this race that's really good. Come on. This car is much faster than Rodney, but if you can control is also another thing. Just cut over there. That. Mr. Bitchy. Don't leave me too busy. There's a shortcut back there, but okay. Wait! Let's turn back.
Someone mowing their lawn?
Pardon?
Is it someone mowing their lawn?
No, we're getting a new fence.
Ah.
Ah. Crashed.
What do you have an
Again.
infestation of?
Nothing. We're just getting from meshed Caliban.
Ah. I didn't know if you were doing it to keep like an animal out of your yard or a neighbor out of your yard or something like that.
Oh no. This is the government house, so they just decided to put their fence up. House. No, 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 no. No, I'm swerving. No, okay, I'm in control. Rodney, go away. Get lost, Rodney. Oh. Rodney just crashed into a tree. That one gets me. No. That one gets me every time. Wait. There's a shortcut up here at the north. Quick and secret shortcut. There's a shortcut. Oh. Get lost, Calvin. Calvin? Finally, I'm gonna finish this race. In second. Yeah, I'm happy. This is a top 3. Another one done. You like something that?
I'm just doing touring car right now with the new touring car. I need to customize it, but I haven't done it yet.
You've got the new Ferrari.
Yeah.
The FXX. I think it's the FXXK.
Yeah. FXXK. Why they chose that name?
Yeah, that was Ferrari. That was all on Ferrari.
And then there's the Kawasaki, or wait, no, I think it's KTM or whatever. Or wait, no, I think it's Kawasaki, the little golf cart thing. I can't remember. Go-kart. Track kart, whatever you want to call it. Mario Kart. Woohoo!
Good. Oh.
Mamma mia.
I'll get the hovercraft. I use if I want to.
Holy, I suck nards, dude.
Huh?
Can't even.
Can't even edit the performance on the hovercraft yet.
No, you can't, because it's not, it doesn't have parts, because it has no races.
Yeah. But you can't even do the pro setting stuff.
Yep.
I have, I think, one more street race to do. And street racing is done for me. I'm not going to do drift.
But what does it count as? A ground vehicle, a water vehicle, or an air vehicle?
What? Count as what?
The hovercraft.
Ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could have actually guessed that myself. I was just being like a hypothetical person.
Because if you set it to your favorites, you have to go to the car to get the hovercraft.
I just mean because it can go
Oh,
over
no, I've
water,
100%
and
done
it's
straight race.
technically an air vehicle because it's not touching the ground that it's hovering over.
Yeah, true. I've got one drift event I have to do, and I don't want to do it. I'm doing it. I'm gonna probably be sitting here for hours, but I'll get there.
Oh, it started to rain out. Here, I can hear it.
I'm drifting the police car. I'm driving my police car.
Well, yeah, it's just my livery, though. I wish you could put actual police car lights on them.
Yeah.
At least the cars in real
I-
life that are actual police cars.
I
then again-
tried to make the lights as best I can with just like squares on my bumper, but that's yeah.
Well, I just mean because in real life, there's a lot of different cars that are in this game that are also police cars in different
Yeah, like the Dodge
countries.
Charger.
Yeah. The Charger, Mustangs, the Challengers, those are all used as
The
police cars.
Lamborghini Huracan.
Yep, that's used as a
Dubai.
police car in Abu Dhabi as well.
Yeah.
I think it's... No, I think you're right. Dubai uses that. Abu Dhabi uses the, like, Citroen weird cars as police cars.
Yeah.
A lot of countries have weird police cars. And then you go to Russia and it's just like some old sedan from like the 80s.
You've got a Crown Victoria, man.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong with one of those cars. Those things, even though they're really heavy, you can throw them through a brick wall and you'd still drive away with it.
True.
It's like the El Dorado that I drive in this. One of the reasons I like driving it in street race is just that if something gets in your way, you just plow it out of the way because the car is just so heavy. It's like basically, if you've never driven the El Dorado in the Crew, it's like driving a fire truck in GTA. And I'm not even kidding. You can just plow into cars over and over and over again and not crash. So, it has its own benefit in that way.
Yeah, I suck at drift events. I need to get 50,000 points, and I got 5,000 points. I just don't know how to use my car.
Well,
That's the problem.
come over to the track that I'm on right now.
Which track do you want? Oh, that track. I'm gonna remember what
I don't know,
track that
hold on,
was.
I'll look on the map. It's the one in Miami.
Why, Miami?
This one is really, really good for
that
practicing how to drift.
Okay. Just a good way to get your what's the name of all your followers and stuff.
Well, I mean, it's a good way to just practice holding a line. Like, try going around the corners and staying at the exact spot in that corner around the entire corner. Or if you're gonna go through a corner and like go to the apex, try like making it as like clean as you can each time, so you know what you're doing because it'll take a while. I mean, again, it also helps with settings. There are certain settings that some people say to turn on or off, but really the only thing I turn off is traction control, which I think is already off by default.
I'm getting some followers doing this. Most of some I mean heaps.
Well, it's not about the followers, man. It's just about...
If I can get more, it just tells me how better I can do it.
Well, no, because the drifting in the open world is not the same type as the drift event. The drift event will give you points for a lesser angled drift than what the thing will in this. The drift where it says plus 23 drift, the drift actual event drifts will give you drift points for lesser drifts. Just just focus more on maintaining them.
Oh. I've got no control. I'm spinning out now.
Well, if you're on this... Are you on this track? Well, you're not in my session, anyways. Oh, wait, yeah, you are. I see you. Never mind. It's just you're not showing up when I'm actually driving around.
Yeah, because I think we're in different servers.
Yeah.
So I'm in the Australian server. You're in the American server.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter, though, too much. They don't do that kind of regional separation in this.
Whenever I crash, I have to stop and look. I have a tend to stop in to let my followers bank.
Again, I'm not having you do this just for the followers. I'm having you do this so you can freaking practice drifting properly. Because that's more important.
I am getting there.
Learning how to do very slight angled drifts by throwing the weight of the car
doing
very
ground
slightly.
spins?
If you're doing ground spins, you're pressing the analog stick way too much.
Yeah,
You should be barely tapping it. I've told you this before when I was trying to help you drift. And that's why I was telling you to watch my stream, because I always use cockpit view. And you can see most of the time how little I actually do it, because when you actually do turn significantly like I just did, I went off the track. I didn't go off the track up until the point where I pushed the analog stick all the way to the left before a drift.
I like the drift I just did. I just took a nice 180 degree corner with a perfect drift without touching the wall.
Less steering input, and just focus on holding the car in the same position, which you just do by the throttle. You don't need, once your car is sliding at the angle you need it to, the only thing you need to manage is the throttle. Now, of course, you don't want to go flying into a drift at 130 miles an hour after a straight. In the same way that if there's a drift on a drift map that's short, remember to slow down in between your drifts as you're chaining them together. So like as you're doing one, as you're turning back the other direction, so like let's say you did a right-hand drift. As you were turning back to left, you would brake when your car was centered and then turn left so your car swings back around the other way, if you get what I mean. And but again, this is very little input. You don't, I think a lot of people end up messing up drifting in this game like I did initially, because you just want to do more input than the game wants you to. The game wants you to do very, very little steering and more just pressing the throttle or letting go of the throttle if you need to slow down. Or braking even, like I was saying. And then you just manage that angle around the turn, because the game will pretty much do it for you.
Yeah. Just like this, I just completely let go of the controller and I could slide for an hour, basically. If there was no wall there.
No, it's not. That's why, again, I always get all ragey at it, because I want it to be more involved than it is. But in actuality, drifting in this game is... I don't want to say it's easy, because it's not easy when it's that counterintuitive, but it's easy once you learn how to do it, because it's just... don't press the button. Press it very, very little. The littlest you can.
Yeah.
Because the car responds so well to it, especially if you're using a bigger car.
And another ground speed.
Are you using the Charger?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you need... I literally probably never go past halfway on the analog stick on this track. There's only one turn I do that on, and it's the sharp U-turn at the center of the map.
Yeah. That one I did a perfect drift on. I just slid right around it.
And eventually you just begin to learn, like just with muscle memory, what does that, and then you can translate that onto the drift courses, which, like I said, the drift courses give you points for way less angles. Like, your car can only be very slightly angled and you'll get points for it as long as you're still going fast. It's very different. But once you can do that, like you saw with me, you can do like 40 to 50,000 point drifts fairly easily.
Yeah.
The hard part is when you start to try and do above 100,000 and you mess it up like a minute and a half into it and lose your end of your combo, because the more that combo builds up, the multiplicative stack it builds, and that's how people get those 500,000 point scores, because they do perfect all the way around at the max speed you can get away with.
That makes sense.
It's insane watching those dudes on streams. Because if you want help on the drift events, I'll drift with you. Now that I know it's non-contact, because, I mean, the only thing that'll do is help you. Because if it was contact drifting, I'd be honest, I'd never do it with anyone. Because even though that'd be really fun if you got, like, a really good friend and you were both good at the game, and you could, like, simulate the real-life side-by-side drifts that they do in, like, JDM.
Yeah.
That's, like, one of my favorite things to watch when it comes to automotive.
I just drifted for 242 yards.
The other one that's really, really good for drifting, that if you want a different type of track to practice on, because this one's really flat and doesn't really give you enough, like, difference in terrain. You can go to, I think it's this one, right? Or, no, not that one. Oh yeah, go to the Giants racetrack in San Francisco.
Wait, I come 31.
That racetrack has a big wide turn right off of the starting line, or right near one of the starting lines, and that big wide turn you can do, like, if you're good. I have a 499 yard drift around that giant turn on the Giants racetrack. So if you can beat that, near 500. I couldn't get 500. 499. I'm gonna go up to that track actually.
Yeah, I'm going there now. Let's take you to the saloon. That's there, and I'm gonna go the other way to the saloon.
Because that turns really hard to drift all the way around. You have to start by drifting a little bit sharp, letting off your drift and sort of throttling really hard to keep your drift going, and then letting off again to get back around the other section of it. And you just gotta get that huge, like, sweep of a paintbrush, almost.
Oh, and I just did a ground speed. I just beat my own personal highlight with a ground drift. I think I see it coming up. Yeah, it's just right here. I just beat that personal highlight again.
I like how when I spawn at that ground drift that I have there, it spawns me in sidewards because of how sidewards my car was when it made the icon. Because it's a drift thing.
Yeah. I chose a tight piece of track to start practicing on. Oh no, I found the corner that you were talking about. That's crazy. It's a big corner.
Mm-hmm.
$245 yards. Freak. I tried to go through that ground drift thing.
Again, I can't wait until there's custom events. If what
Yes.
has been said is true.
Yes. This vehicle is uncontrollable.
Because drifting on these tracks is so much more funner than drifting on the garbage.
So you would make a personalized drift event on one of these tracks?
Oh yeah. I'd probably have it even use separate routes on the same track. So like you'd go around one circuit and then on the second lap back around you'd use different parts of the track so it wouldn't just be the same sort of thing. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to make a racing game, you should at least try and be creative with it more so than just, here, we're going to stick a bunch of trash bags on the ground for you to run over and lose your entire combo. I hate that. Honestly, I don't mind the light poles.
I'm trying to do the saloon in a drift vehicle.
What was that, dude?
I'm trying to do the saloon in my drift vehicle.
Oh yeah, the slalom. Sorry. The way you were saying it, I was like, I couldn't understand.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It just took me a minute.
It's almost impossible in a drift vehicle. Whoa, whoa, whoa! There's a race going on the other way.
Oh yeah. I think you might be going around the track the wrong direction.
I'm going the way the saloon took me.
Oh yeah, you're going the wrong direction. You want to go the way where you'll go through it backwards so you don't activate it.
Oh. I'm happy
And
with
it makes the
going
bigger turn easier to enter when you enter it from the straightaway where the finishing line is versus the straightaway where there's like the hump in the terrain that makes you lose traction.
Okay.
Here, I'll try and do it again. No. I didn't get enough of a run-up.
To do what?
I was gonna try and mirror my ground drift that I did before. And see if I could get a 500.
See if I can do that saloon again.
Also, don't use e-brake. If you're using e-brake, stop it. By the way.
I'm not using e-brake.
Okay.
Not in drift. Because basically a drift event basically is the e-brake.
There we go. Over 500. That should have been 500 anyways. Sometimes the highlight calculator undershoots it a little bit.
That saloon is definitely almost impossible in a drift vehicle. So, okay.
No, you just gotta drive slow.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's right. You can't click on it in your card. No, it didn't. Record 499.34. I'm pretty sure that was 500, but whatever. Whatever, game. Also, thanks, Dude Paper.
What did he do?
Oh, he just said, love the channel, and hi.
I'm doing it backwards now.
Well, that's the way I always do it, is backwards, technically. But it's the way that the AI goes.
I was doing it in reverse. Like I was backing up the car.
Oh, yeah. I get what you mean.
No, I'm gonna miss that one. Ah, damn it.
I shouldn't have used the brake there. The brake is what bit me in the tuchus.
Ah! That race again.
Dang it.
That race keeps coming past me. Touring cars. Whoop, whoop. The sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. The sound of the police. That's all I've got. A police car. Ah, ah, ah.
Don't.
Those cars, those touring cars. They're driving around this track.
They aren't that big of a deal. It's mostly because you're a crazy driver.
Hey.
Ooh, that was a nice one. That was nice.
You guys are golf cart. Yes.
Dang it.
Yes. Oh, but I didn't get enough points. I almost got enough points. Not quite. Where are these touring cars gone now?
See, now you're just
Unexpected.
focusing on them more than the actual drifting.
Oh, I am drifting.
Well, I mean... like, really get the physics
Whoa.
ingrained.
I'm trying.
Because if 5,000 was your upper echelon for drifts, that needs to be way better. You need to learn also to
It was
just combo
57.
them.
Touring car.
Every single time you're on a
yes.
straightaway, you need to practice keeping your rear end sliding.
Yeah. Let me do it.
You must be going
Yeah, I
a
tried.
snail's pace if the touring cars are that bothersome. Because I've literally only had them come by me once, and they're just about to come by me a second time. And they never
I'm going
bother
on
me.
exactly their track though.
Yep, so
No,
am I.
not. I was.
And they don't bother me that much. There's one behind me right now.
No, I'm going in towards them.
Oh no, he's... Never mind, I thought that was the AI touring car, but it's actually just another player following me for whatever reason.
They might be a subscriber.
No. You're giving me too much credit.
Fun?
I said you're giving me too much credit. I have 200 subscribers.
Well, I have subscribers 5 million games. And I've got 26 subscribers, man.
Yeah, but that's because they're actively doing it.
Okay.
Because you don't always get to load in onto the same server. I'm driving on the same track you are, and I don't see you.
Yeah. I'm trying to do slalom again. Missed that one. This one. This one. Not that one. Not that one either. A hose.
That AI just got fucked. You tried to pass me, came up, and I was in mid-drift, and the end, like the back end of my Charger just like bitch slapped him into the wall. He's just like rejected by a 3,000-pound car.
Formation for a second.
Oh, that means there was
literally just
another
got
player
points for
nearby.
formation. I know. Oh, 180.